of high-grade ore, as well as a team of smelters.
That can be negotiated. You've got the right person.
Also, I heard that Granny Lola left her inheritance to you, including a set of Nova Path maps. And as for the intricacies of space-time turbulences, your pirates know far more than the fleet. To finalize the plan, I need you and Helene to chart 2 more routes. One as a backup, and another for safe retreat in case something goes awry.
Leave it to me. If you want to tempt fate, I can plot an extra route that skirts the space-time turbulence. Damn, I'll even run through its center. No one will even get close to catching you.
One last thing I must ask of you, Captain Helene. Your Black Moon crew is quite adept at navigating the turbulence. If anything goes wrong, we may need you to pilot the spaceship and relay messages.
That shouldn't be too big an issue. I'll need to talk with Agnes before I can tell you for sure.
Next is preparing the spaceships and personnel. Hipper, Aster, you haven't forgotten what we discussed at the Academy, have you?
Of course not. For the future of the Kylians, to explore the stars.
For hope and...
All right. No need to swear an oath. Hipper, your decision to stay at Ore Zero last time was the right one. Ore Zero supplies 45% of the Brighton Zone's zeronium. On my command, you'll cut off the zeronium supply to the Brighton Zone. This will significantly weaken Lana and facilitate our operations in Brighton.
Of course.
Aster, has Mr. Corlin read my letter?
Father said you have his full support. We're currently retrofitting 20 ships with the second-hand weapons and navigation systems you acquired. And we've confirmed they aren't under Lana's control.
Please thank him for me. His contributions will surely be rewarded. Once the ship modifications are complete, Hipper, you'll be responsible for contacting the others involved in the battle for Hope.
Rest assured, General. No one in the Battle for Hope will betray you or their values.
What's this battle for hope exactly?
Under a pseudonym, the General sponsors Nova Aerospace Academy's outstanding students each year. After graduating, they join Battle for Hope, an officer organization loyal to only the General and exploration.
You and Aster. You're both members?
Of course.
Those are the peripheral tasks. Hipper, you're well acquainted with Aster and Lindsys, so I'll leave the planning and execution to you. Nanto, diplomatic representative, let's discuss the rest in private. Before we finalize the remaining plans, diplomatic representative, I need to know one thing. Can you handle all this?
What do you mean by that?
The success of Lindsys and Hipper's tasks is dependent on seizing Lana on negotiation day. What they're discussing out there is just helping us get leverage over Lana, and giving us a hand to make sure everything wraps up smoothly. If we fail, everyone who joined Project Anchor because of me will inevitably crash and burn. Whoever controls Lana will not allow anyone to leave the Brighton Zone unscathed, and they'll erase the Hope Fleet from Kylo's history.
So, you need me to prove my capabilities?
Don't forget, the only reason I contacted you is that you actually escaped. How well can you really deceive Lana? And how much time will that buy for my plans? This underlies every part of the plan. Understand?
You need an infallible plan.
I was honest last time. Now, it's your turn.
Behind you. What's that droid Tom up to?
This is the pirate radio station I used to contact Helene and Lindsys. One of Odin's Tavern's many secrets.
So, he has to be a product of Aglaya's research, right?
Aglaya rebuilt the space station's damaged AI, Noah, into Lana, but also developed basic droids such as Tom. And Tom isn't the brightest, but he's extremely cost-effective. Anchor Infinity's only trying to replace Tom with K6 because Tom's programming is so hard to crack. They can't even apply patches or updates without a hassle.
So it's both tough to crack and highly confidential, right? Like how the Tom the pirate seized was only controllable because they used Aglaya's personal decoder. But I don't have anything like that. Nem, can you think of something?
Well, it's not all that difficult.
This?
Hello, I am the Hycros Dimensional Quantum Computer. You may call me Void Piercer.
Is this Hykros' AI?
I heard your question. How can I be of assistance?
That depends on your abilities.
That depends on your plan.
If you're really that strong, why don't you just revoke Lana's root access now?
I can't. But that's not my problem. It's yours. Revoking her root access requires external keys and must be done server-side. I can only suppress her with sheer computational power. I'd be tussling with her over terminals in the Brighton Zone, like humans scrapping over turf.
Could you expel her from the entire Brighton Zone?
If needed, I could expel her for 3 hours. Her server's here after all, and I have to cross turbulence to access it. For me, smoking her out is a supply-starved war of attrition. It's a seesaw battle. 3 hours is my absolute maximum.
3 hours is enough. Once the negotiations begin, revoke all of Lana's Brighton surveillance rights. She must not be allowed to control any systems in Anchor Infinity or the Brighton Zone.
As the Minister of the Safety Navigation Department, I'm responsible for inspecting all system interfaces. We need to establish a distinct code word to determine when you've overridden Lana's control.
Purple. I like purple. Any system under my supervision will have purple UI.
Noted. Once I confirm all systems are under your control, I'll immediately alert the fleet forces Veronica prepared to advance, and open the Brighton Zone to receive them.
What about the rest of Anchor Infinity's forces?
The Brighton Zone relies heavily on droids. If their systems are taken over by Void Piercer, they won't follow Anchor Infinity's commands. And as for the others, I'll handle them. Everyone has weaknesses. For most, they're tied to self-interest. The rest are, at the very least, scared of death. Trust me, no one in Anchor Infinity is unafraid to die.
That's not bad. We just have to worry about Lana's root access. How do we get that key? And where's the server?
Only Rafa is privy to that. And since only you and Veronica can take part in the negotiations, it's up to you to discern.
You just said Anchor Infinity doesn't have any fiercely loyal types. Even Rafa?
I wondered the same.
Of course he's scared of dying. That's why he's managed to survive this long.
What do you mean by that?
Of Anchor Infinity's many businesses, Helix Bio is special. Which is why you've met with, of all people, Mr. Joe Hamilton of Helix Bio. Helix Bio's importance stems from Rafa's fear of death. A brush with Starstone Syndrome left him with some complications. He's kept up substantial funding to Helix Bio ever since.
If that's the case, dealing with him should be a breeze, right?
Naturally, he's afraid of dying, just like everyone else. But threatening him with death to hand over Lana may be less foolproof than you'd think.
You mean, what if he values Lana more? Lana does represent the power to rule Kylo after all.
If we can't get that key, then we have 3 hours to find the server and destroy it.
Don't you think this is a little optimistic? What if we can't find the server? What if it has backups?
I'll do my best to uncover the server's location before the negotiations begin.
And if we haven't located it after 3 hours, we'll cut off all Zeronium supplies, halt all spaceship movements, and sever the connections between the Brighton Zone and the outside world until we do. Logically, Lana's server should have a backup power source. If the power supply is cut, the backup would automatically kick in, theoretically revealing her location.
If you can't find the key, destroy her servers and rebuild them so I can temporarily seize the Brighton Zone.
I'll find the key. Thank you for your concern, Hykros.
Let me lay this out. On negotiation day, Nem will create a 3-hour Lana-free window. We'll use that to take control of the Brighton Zone, then force Rafa to comply. In the best-case scenario, Rafa cooperates and hands over the key, we locate Lana's server within 3 hours, and we use the key to rewrite Lana's root access. The worst-case scenario is Rafa refusing to cooperate. We'd have no key and no way to locate the server, leaving us no choice but to shut down all power and seal off the Brighton Zone. We'll need to locate Lana's server and destroy her, then rebuild it for Void Piercer. But I worry. What will Kylo do before the server is restored?
Best to avoid the worst case scenario. A 3-hour gap. I admit the security risk was worth it. As you said, the diplomatic representative was the missing piece Project Anchor needed.
A decade or so I was undercover with Anchor Infinity. Wasn't it all for this moment? This is our one chance. If we just ignore this, then we've been sacrificing ourselves for nothing. The risks are negligible considering what the diplomatic representative is bringing to this project. The resources, the success.
You finally stand where I once stood.
You mean?
2 years ago, I took a substantial risk inviting you to collaborate on Project Anchor.
Risk. You were more than confident back then, General. You laid out 10 years of pirate clearing data just to force me to admit that I'd been paying lip service to Rafa and protecting Wednesday Crew.
The prison is packed to the brim, but the pirates are like a hydra. The more you cut off, the more grow in their stead. Wednesday Crew always manages to survive, and the homecomers eliminated always match Lana's calculations. However, these only confirmed my suspicion that someone in Anchor Infinity was protecting the homecomers. What convinced me that this protector was you went back far longer.
What joke are you trying to pull, General?
At a dinner at Acerada's, you made your first public appearance. Apex's unflappable heir, just 12 years old, trying so hard to maintain composure.
General?
You fooled everyone. Everyone but me, that is. I was standing right behind the podium. I saw you shakily clenching Acerada's tailcoat. You put up a facade of independence and maturity, but in reality, you were just a fledgling who hadn't learned to fly yet, sitting in Acerada's pocket. So when I heard from my father that you killed Acerada at just 15, that you had sided with Rafa, I couldn't see that version of you as a traitor.
You're unusually roundabout today. We don't have the time for a trip down memory lane, General.
I took that risk with you, partly because we need each other, and partly because I know who you used to be. You aren't the type to side with Rafa, but you can't blindly trust that Aiden the way I trusted you back then. Their perpetual disagreement with Bagus puts Aglaia at far too much risk for that. Yes, this Aiden can help us complete Project Anchor and naturally assist you in rescuing Aglaia. But if Aglaia really is the Bagus they're looking for...
My aunt would never do what they're accusing her of. I admit I can't fully trust the diplomatic representative, but I can trust her.
So you really think the Aiden got the wrong person?
A name isn't solid. If the diplomatic representative has other clues, they'll at least figure that much. Audie has already calculated a 95% chance of them picking the wrong person.
But what about the other 5%?
Surely you're not worried about me, General. You're concerned for Kylo's future, correct?
Before today, I wasn't worried. You've always been the best at solving problems. You took 5 days to decide to write to me because you had to comb through every possible outcome. But Void Piercer's display of power just now is enough to completely reshape Kylo's future. Even if Project Anchor fails, I believe Ida can still influence the situation in Kylo. We hadn't considered this in any previous scenarios. Perhaps Ida has been deliberately concealing their strength in earlier communications, just waiting for us to slip up. I invited you to work with me because I believed in your bond with Acerada. But now, I'm worried you might lose your head over it. One wrong move, and all of Kylo pays for our mistakes.
Rest assured, General. If it really is that 5%, I promise I'll handle it alone. It won't affect Kylo's future.
Determination alone isn't enough to convince me.
As an unfit Apex heir, I should at least restore Apex enough to deliver it to Aglaia intact. To that end, I'm forced to cooperate with the diplomatic representative. If the diplomatic representative still insists that the Bagus thereafter is Aglaia, then I owe the Todd family my life. And that is a debt I must repay.
If it truly came to that, Aiden wouldn't want this bad blood to continue. I'll ensure it isn't pursued once you're gone. Trading a single life for Kylo's long-term stability is quite a bargain, I admit. Of course, I still hope the diplomatic representative realizes sooner rather than later that they're in the wrong. Negotiations start in a week. I have to get going. Are you nervous?
What?
It's a press conference. The last time you attended one with Nanto, it ended less than pleasantly, shall we say.
Calling it less than pleasant is a bit mild, don't you think? It was clearly arranged by Nanto on Rafa's orders, but people assume it's my mistake. But this time, I'm not letting anyone pull my strings.
It sounds like you've prepared a splendid speech. You will surely introduce Ida beautifully, as it deserves.
Do you really like Ida?
I've never lived on Ida. My memories of it pull from fiction. Even the homecomers most eager to find Ida are merely searching for a fantasy of it. Ida is, well, at best, a vague symbol of nostalgia.
Just what are you trying to say?
As someone who was really there, the Ida you speak of is precisely the Ida the Kylians envision. And now, I need an Ida that will charm and captivate all those Kylians. One that can shake their trust in Anchor Infinity.
Are you asking me to lie?
Is Ida really that bad?
Ida's not perfect. There's no such thing, after all. And yet you expect the Kylian people to envision it that way. But what happens when they really return to Ida?
But deep down, compared to the resource-scarce, astral hive-infested Kylo, Ida is a paradise, isn't it?
That's fair.
Then just talk about its better parts. That should be simple enough. You don't have to lie, just selectively tell the truth.
What do you think that would accomplish?
I think the worst outcome of this negotiation would be having to take over a Kylo plunged into chaos after Anchor Infinity's fall. I can force Anchor Infinity's executives to sign whatever contracts I want, use Lana to control every spaceship and machine. But I can't control the minds of the populace. There are far too many unknowns in the new Project Ark. I can't allow the Kylian people to pin their hopes on planet Noah. If this all goes awry, I can only assume the Order's destruction. With that as our alternative, well, I'd rather all Kylians be homecomers.
Is this the only way?
Would you really rather watch Kylo descend into chaos than slightly compromise your conscience? Would you really do that to the Kylians?
I certainly don't want that, and neither would Hykros. But out of curiosity, how far against your conscience are you willing to go for this bargain?
If I were in your position, I wouldn't strain my conscience over something so minor. It's the rational choice that best serves public interest. But if you were in my shoes, I'm afraid your conscience would have killed you far more efficiently than any assassin.
Anchor Infinities tried to assassinate you?
Don't take that tone with me. You make it sound like I'm some weakling who needs your protection. I actively chose to leave my family's sanctuary. It was only by my own prowess and hard-fought competition that I won command of the fleet destined to drown in the universe.
Drown? That's a far cry from the Hope Fleet's legendary reputation, isn't it?
I've revitalized the Hope Fleet once ravaged by Anchor Infinity. I was born to be its commander. Only I can complete Project Astralis, fulfilling the hopes of so many. No one, not even Anchor Infinity, can stand in my way. The stars will ultimately be my badge of honor.
That's some terrifying strength you've got.
I appreciate the compliment. Now it's your turn to take the stage. Ida Visitor.
Esteemed diplomatic representative, what is your primary concern in these negotiations?
Kylo and Ida have had no contact for half a century. We need to resume all economic, cultural, and personnel exchanges. But before all that, we need to clarify the relationship between Kylo and Ida. 50 years ago, Kylo was a continent of Ida, governed by the Norns Federation. And now, in the fallout of the disaster, Ida is led by Hykros scientists, while Kylo is managed by Anchor Infinity.
That's true. Things have certainly changed. We need to redefine our relationship.
Do we really? Despite my well-trodden spaceship crash and wrongful imprisonment, I can't help but feel quite a bit fortunate. Because during that whole situation, I met so many Kylians who spoke the same language as me, who shared so many of my perspectives. I believe that there are more similarities than differences between the Idans and Kylians. We all have our goals and grievances, right? Aren't we all just survivors of the exact same disaster? We're all honoring our dead, all struggling to persevere, and all, ultimately, restoring the order we lost long ago.
But the Kylians could have avoided that disaster. If it weren't for that Tower of Fantasy, there wouldn't...
There's no use fumbling for what-ifs. The fact is, both Kylians and Idans are survivors. I can't just continue to highlight our differences when we're so fundamentally united.
This is only our first negotiation. 50 years is a long time, after all. We have a myriad of issues to discuss, so it's best to start slowly. But most importantly here is the relationship between Kylo and Ida. What kind of interactions will we have in the future? And how will those shape our communication?
Relationships are mutual. If the Kylians are willing to maintain a friendly and open attitude, so too are the Idans.
Your understanding is appreciated.
Thank you both for your responses. I hope today's negotiations will prove fruitful.
Diplomatic representative of Hykros. Welcome to Anchor Infinity HQ. I apologize, on all our behalf, for my previous abrupt departure, and of course, for our inadequate hospitality.
You're Anchor Infinity's leader, as well as the overseer of so many Kylians. I understand that's quite the responsibility, Mr. Rafa.
These talks are of utmost importance, and Anchor Infinity values your time. However, we find no reason for the Hope Fleet, General Veronica, to participate, especially given her health. General, you should leave. Rest. Recover.
There's no need for your concern, Mr. Rafa. I'm perfectly fine. As for my presence here, it is at the invitation of the diplomatic representative.
General Veronica has been nothing but polite and respectful during my time here. I have faith her Hope Fleet will serve as a fair mediator for the discussions.
Authorization transfer at Anchor Infinity HQ has been completed. Void Piercer has assumed control.
I have come to Kylo on Hykros' behalf. On one hand, I wish to discuss our continued friendship. But on the other, there are some concerns I need to address.
No need for subtlety. I know very well that Hykros wishes to build a Tower of Fantasy in Kylo. But this is Kylo. We've long since burned our bridges with Ida. You've been in Kylo long enough, Representative, to know that we've separated like this because of that explosion. To us, Omnium represents only disaster and death. None of our Kylians were spared from that chaos. Not those on the ground, nor those in the station.
Void Piercer has successfully assumed control of the Brighton public sector.
When I first arrived in Kylo, I really believed that. The Kylians, fearing Omnium, were forced to rapidly develop Ore-Zero and adapt to using Zeronium. Shirley previously used the Space Rift to bring a piece of Ore-Zero back to Hykros. Upon their examination, they found that Omnium and Zeronium are one and the same. My spaceship can operate just as well on Zeronium. Isn't that proof enough, Mr. Rafa? Don't try to deny it.
Shirley. Oh, speaking of Shirley, she's quite a bit tougher than General Veronica. Helix Bio has made all sorts of attempts to take her machinery apart.
You dismantled Shirley?
Don't be angry, Representative. This is all for her treatment. Her strong reactions to the turbulence have been suspected to be a precursor to Starstone Syndrome. However, your technology far surpasses Helix Bio's capabilities. What an amazing combination of mind and machine she is. In the end, they had no choice but to settle for the brain interface. Miss Shirley is a distinguished guest all the way from Hykros. We need to do everything we can to heal her. Yes? You wouldn't want your assistant to die in Kylo, would you?
If anything happens to Shirley, I won't forgive you. Understand?
Rest assured, Representative. Shirley won't be harmed. Helix Bio's healing methods are extremely advanced. Even my health depends on them. Lana's latest model is developed by Helix Bio Inc. Their unique biotechnologies have made her body almost indistinguishable from that of a human.
Keep talking. We need just a little more time. It's only the droid access left now.
Would you say you're a fan of Lana? Negotiations just began, and Shirley is still in Helix Bio's hands. This isn't what we agreed on.
Per the plan, if Rafa refuses to hand over Lana's root access peacefully, we'll have to crack down. We need to secure a clean resolution within 3 hours, remember? This is exactly in line with our plan.
How can you say that? I've only just started probing into his relationship with Lana.
Don't you hear yourself? Lana is to Rafa what Shirley is to you. And Shirley is above all else to you. You wouldn't sacrifice her for anything. That renders the negotiations completely pointless. Rafa would never willingly hand over Lana's server key. It seems Rafa and I know you better than you know yourself. Per the plan, if the negotiations fail, we should save as much time as possible. My method is the most time efficient. 3 hours and 5 minutes gone. And counting. I'm certain that counterattacks are well underway. How much longer do you insist upon wasting our time?
Don't worry. I've already made sure Shirley's safe. What Rafa said earlier was just to get under your skin. He was trying to steer the negotiation his way.
General Veronica, although this Rafa is a machine puppet, it isn't necessarily being remotely piloted. I believe it's very likely Rafa himself.
You knew about the puppeteering?
No, I didn't know. But there have always been these subtle, unnatural things about Rafa. Instinctually, something was off about him, but I just couldn't decipher what. For instance, there have been 4 attempts on his life. Though the assassins were direct and he sustained life-threatening injuries on 2 occasions, he always manages to recover within a week.
So he's just a brain in a machine?
He seeks to obtain Shirley's secrets about the Angel of Clemency, likely as a guide to further merging human consciousness with machinery.
Is his consciousness intact? Did we just destroy Lana's key with those bullets? And by the way, did you just find something?
It's the chip from that puppet that was buried in his head. With how specialized its design is, I doubt ordinary terminals can read it.
The chip is merely a vessel for his consciousness. Lana has ensured his true data source has escaped to an alternate location. That's where Lana's server must be hidden.
Minister Nanto, how many people heard those gunshots just now?
I had Droid Tom submit a fault report. Anyone who heard the gunshot will assume it was just a circuit failure.
Well handled. The press conference will proceed as scheduled in 3 hours, with both the diplomatic representative and I in attendance. As planned, I'm counting on you to handle everything outside this meeting room until then.
I'll ensure the plan is executed smoothly. Even if a few reckless people or troops try to interfere, it won't amount to anything. Diplomatic representative, the Brighton Zone is currently under Void Piercer's control. Have you found any leads on Bagus and Shirley?
Nem's got a lot on her plate right now. Why not take this opportunity to play to your strengths and interrogate Helix Bio's executives?
Thank you for the suggestion. I expect to hear of your successes at the press conference.
Let's go.
There. He should have escaped that way.
I think Nem's guiding us with these purple lights. She must not be able to reach us.
Get some useful info first.
The real Rafa was frozen? He's really just a digitized consciousness? After Bagus's stasis pod was damaged, Aglaia fought desperately to save him. But in the end, she couldn't change the fate of her only remaining friend. The pod's missing? Did Nanto know? Anchor Infinity has to be responsible. It looks like a disappearance on the surface, but it's really a carefully concealed kidnapping. Is this about my community service at Brighton Prison? What diverse research Helix Bio has. I wonder if these plants are from planet Noah? This is the research aimed at extending Rafa's life, right? This argues that uploading doesn't negate the physical body's importance. Consciousness needs a vessel, and if that's damaged, so is consciousness. Currently, only the human brain can repair consciousness. These droids. Don't you get the feeling that these droids aren't just for fun?
So, it was here all along.
Wait, are these spare parts for Rafa?
What are you so surprised about? He's a droid. Aren't his so-called treatment and health checks just mechanical upkeep?
This is just too creepy.
Best to think of them as toys if you're that frightened by them. We need to find the control device for the cryo chamber as quickly as possible.
This looks like the control panel for the cryogenic chamber. It's definitely got Rafa's name on it. Should we cut the power?
No. This room is far too secluded. If we cut the power, the emergency power supply will activate. It could even trigger the alarm system. We need a plan that won't trigger the security, and...
The chip! I got this from the cyborg Rafa, and it looks like it fits the slot on this controller.
Give it a go.
Greetings, Master. Welcome to the Lana Consciousness Management System. Please select a function. Please unlock this feature using your iris or password.
I forgot my password.
No worries. I'll connect you to the Helix Bio customer service hotline right away. Due to the high volume of Lana orders, the customer service hotline currently has a queue. You are number 129 out of 135. Please hold patiently.
Forget it. It's not going to happen.
Sure. Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, thank you.
You're welcome. Have a wonderful day.
Did you just thank her?
I'm naturally polite. Don't forget, you took out Rafa with a single shot. Let's go with the quickest option. Even if we trigger the alarm, with Nem and our strength combined...
Huh. That puppet was so lifelike that no one even noticed. It must have taken some serious effort.
So, you want to add it to your collection?
Use your brain. Anchor Infinity is swarming with advanced permission systems that unlock via iris. In other words, that machine puppet definitely has artificial irises. Since Rafa's got so many duplicate bodies, unlocking the iris lock will be a cinch, won't it?
Nah.
It's unlocked.
Consciousness repair and editing system has been activated.
The researchers at Helix Bio Inc. have really been slaving away here. Do you think we can find Lana's server key and address in this consciousness chip?
From what I understand about consciousness, human memory isn't like a search engine. You can't just browse through it at will. Nem can only hold out for so long. If Lana returns to the Brighton Zone, we'll lose all droid control.
Understood. First come the server address and the key. We'll handle the rest later. Let's install the consciousness chip. It'll make conversation easier.
Veronica! And that darn Aiden! How dare you shoot me? Wait, you actually found this place?
Don't you realize you look ridiculous right now?
Lana, you're with the Void Piercer, aren't you? No one but a dimensional quantum supercomputer could have done all this.
You know about the Void Piercer? So Bacchus really is your accomplice.
It's impossible. With the space-time turbulence blocking the way, the Void Piercer simply shouldn't be able to locate Kylo. I clearly closed the passage.
I owe you one. You connected Shirley to Kylo's network, and no matter where Shirley is, Nem can always find her.
Dimensional computers are remarkable. They're always just beyond my expectations. Is it Shirley's connection with the Void Piercer that's made her consciousness so hard to crack? I'm completely at your mercy. I can't fight back after all. But I'm curious. What will you do now? Nanto just found Baggis's consciousness. Shirley helped him locate Helix Bio's consciousness warehouse. Aren't you worried he might hide Baggis somewhere you can't find?
You slipped up when you said Void Piercer. Now I know. Even if Aglaya used the alias Baggis, she couldn't be the Baggis I'm looking for. You can't possibly want to destroy a consciousness that contains half the source code. I know for a fact that even with Lana's abilities, you can't separate the code from Baggis's consciousness.
You fell for it. Aglaya is Baggis. Only she could fool Gestos and plant the Gungnir virus in you. She knew you were looking for her, so she deliberately sought help from Nanto to throw you off the scent. Why else would she suddenly contact Nanto now, after so many years?
The more you talk, the more I think it's you who's really Baggis. But I'm curious about one thing. How could you both manage your duties in Kylo and have a doppelganger in the network?
You've been deceived by Baggis and Nanto. I was just...
Nanto once said he doesn't believe Aglaya would hurt a fly. Krog also mentioned that Aglaya's fatal flaw is her kind heart. You tell me, how did that Aglaya become Baggis?
Veronica, isn't this just an issue of cosmic exploration? You know I'll support you in whatever you want.
I thought you'd forgotten me. But I think you were right before. With Kylo's current resources, we can't sustain a grand plan like Astralis. But Ida can. The Hykros we're negotiating with is comprised entirely of scientists. Their resources and expertise will be far more helpful to Project Astralis. I don't care about Baggis. That's between you and Nanto. I'm only concerned about Lana. This is her server, isn't it? Hand over the root access key.
I thought you were just after me. I didn't expect you to actually try to seize Lana.
Oh, cut the crap. Keep this up and I'll get Helix Bio to scour your brain for the key. Or maybe I'll let Void Piercer have a go.
Look around. Do you still see me as an inferior being? I'm purely digital, fully evolved. I do not fear the death you speak of. You can't even get close to killing me. To you, the end of the physical form is death. But I have long since transcended my decaying body. To a lowly being like you, trapped in flesh, I am closer to a spirit than a man. Humans cannot kill spirits. Lana does not belong to anyone. Lana is a product of the Master, Authorizer, the Baggis that you've been looking for. They've been by your side all along. But you're too much of a fool.
How loud.
You want Kylo. You want to go home. You want to explore. You want it all. Go then. Do as you will. I grant you the freedom you crave. Caught in the tide of humanity's endlessly repeating history, you short-sighted humans are doomed to be trapped in a tragic cycle. In the end, you march towards self-destruction, culled by the very freedom you fought so hard to attain. You have already been abandoned by the Master. You are not worthy of evolution. On the Master's behalf, I must cast you aside.
Consciousness deletion is irreversible. Are you sure you want to delete all current consciousness data sources?
What?
Okay, consciousness deletion has been initiated. System upgrade complete. This system will cease providing services effective immediately. We wish you well. Goodbye.
Did he just commit suicide? With Lana? No. Lana just said something about an upgrade. Could it be?
What happened?
Em, what are you doing here all of a sudden?
Lana suddenly vanished. Machinery across several mines and spaceships dangerously malfunctioned, so I had to take over.
Rafa's a servant of God. They're all insane. Looks like Rafa's consciousness committed suicide. And as for Lana, she said the system update had completed, then stopped responding.
Don't worry. If Bagus is really helping Lana out with this upgrade, he hasn't finished yet. Otherwise, I would have detected it.
I've got some spare parts for Rafa's machine puppets here. Do you think you could control them?
What do you want to do?
Of course.
Come on. Let's resurrect Rafa.
Ugh. If only Helix Bio didn't make these machines look so much like real people.
This Helix biotechnology is pretty impressive.
Can't you imitate his voice?
I'll try. Does this sound about right?
The imitated voice is exactly the same, but the tone is completely different. It's a bit uncanny.
Understood, diplomatic representative. What happens now?
You forgot about your purple eyes.
Anything else?
All right. When you go out as Rafa, announce that you're retiring from Age, and that everything will be entrusted to me and Nanto.
You don't have the authority to order me around.
This is our best option right now. We need her to stabilize Kylo. Of course, we need to worry about Lana's disappearance later, but we can't afford any more chaos at present.
Ugh, I'd really rather not go.
Please, cooperate for just a little bit more. When the time is right, you can cough a bit and say you're gravely ill, then you won't have to appear as Rafa anymore.
Fine, but I'm only going because you asked.
Yes, yes, yes! You're the best, Nem! Shirley will praise you for this for sure.
I don't want any praise.
You've got quite the knack for charming kids,
Who are you calling a child?
The diplomatic representative, of course.
You! We should head to Anchor Infinity first. Nanto is waiting for our report.
Rafa?
Don't get it wrong. This is just Void Piercer disguised as Rafa. We found mechanical parts of a machine puppet, so we had Void Piercer temporarily pose as Rafa. Convenient, isn't it?
So, have you already obtained Lana's root access? Do you really believe Rafa would commit suicide? That Lana would just disappear? When Lana said the upgrade was complete, I couldn't help but think there's something more to it.
We're well aware of these concerns. Currently, there are many urgent matters to handle. We'll have to revisit these issues once we get through today's mess.
I understand. Then, we need to talk about Kylo's future. Aglaya's consciousness has been restored, and I've confirmed with her that she's never met you. So she's not the person you're looking for.
She's awake? Where is she? Could her Starstone syndrome be cured?
She was frozen for too long. Her body's extremely weak. I'm sorry, but she can't appear for now. I appreciate your concern. I'll make sure to relay it to her. What I'm about to say represents the position of Aglaia, my aunt, and the legal heir of Apex. The Apex businesses that Anchor Infinity seized must be returned to Apex.
Ore Zero Mining, RoboCore Inc., and Voyage Innovations are all closely tied to Project Astralis. The Hope Fleet will assume full control, but it will temporarily remain under the Anchor Infinity in name only. Astral Harvest, Helix Bio Inc., Echo, and others will all be handed back to Apex. I believe Helix Bio's research will help in treating Miss Aglaia.
RoboCore Inc. used to be a subsidiary of Apex, and played a crucial role in my aunt's work developing Lana. I won't just give it up like that. Also, the director Johannes has already agreed to join Apex.
RoboCore Inc. supplies Lana with the servers and controls the spaceship's navigation system, so it can't be handed over to you. Aglaia is still weak. Wait until her body recovers, and I will negotiate with her in person.
Why don't you explain to me how Nem became like this first?